Eminence Front X5 and Larry Word here, coming to you from Death Valley, just outside of Death Valley. There's an abandoned mill. There's an abandoned little village in a little town that supported the mill that was here. There's also a 1920s enhancement to that now abandoned town where they were adding more water supply, and that water supply is right behind me. There's one more thing that's abandoned here out in Death Valley Junction, Death Valley. It's a swimming pool. You guys have to check this out. Well, first off, there's the lid. Just under that lid, like I said earlier, about 5 feet under is about where the water starts. That, you know, they could certainly make this an active well again. This was part of the apparatus that pulled the water out of the well. I believe they were saying it was electric powered, and that would drive the water down into this pipe and distribute it that way. And let's follow this line a little bit. So it went underground here. By the way, this is one of the power poles on the ground here that fed power to the pump itself. I found that interesting. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, middle of nowhere once again. Sorry about the wind, folks, but what can I do? So where's the pool? The pool is directly ahead. So right now we're walking, of course, above ground. Just below us here would be the line, the water line that ran out to the pool. We're actually across the street. So what they did was they teed into this freshwater line, and that's what they used to fill the pool itself. Apparently they used to fill the pool once a week. They would clean it, and they would drain it all the way out once a week to clean the moss out. Now, I'm gonna have to preface here why are they cleaning the pool so much? Well, first off, it's not your normal pool. It's a concrete bottom pool with wood siding, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. They were using like miners' wood, not really wood, more like timbers that you would see inside of a mine. Well, that's what is. That's what's making up the body of the walls. Anyway, it's right behind this little bunch of bushes directly in front of us here. That's where we're going. But I wanted to show you where they were tapping into. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, this was made in the 1920s when they were expanding this part of the desert, or trying to. When the American Borax Company was out here, they were trying to make it nicer for the miners and the families to be out here. So anyway, here we are. We're going to go up to, right now we're on our way to see where they teed into the main water line from that well, which runs directly below us still. This little berm. Okay, so it's right over here. That's where they teed into it right there. But that's kind of cool. So here's the pool itself. Found it very, very cool. It's all destroyed, of course, but you can imagine back in the 1920s, there's a little ramp. That's the shallow end of the pool we're looking at now, down there. Towards me, well, first off, let's look at the diving board. Not bad. A lot of fun on this, I bet. It's the old diving board there. Looks like the diving board area had a deck, like a wooden deck that ran across the way here. Oops, excuse me, folks. But yeah, there's the diving board's right here. Little bend to it. I would assume it extended out to about here, and that's what they would dive into the water with. It's about 10-12 feet deep. We'll head down there in a second. Yeah, very cool. Well, today was one of the hottest days of the year so far. I think it reached over 100 degrees. It's April 25th. A lot of dirt and debris down there. That wall's buckling. Very sketch up here, but and we just had some rains recently, so I gotta be careful. Anyway, it's cool to see this out here. Very cool. I'm gonna turn off the camera and head down here and walk down this ramp with you guys. So some old paint buckets. Like I was saying before, I was told that one of the people that knows about this place was saying while they worked here as a kid, they would drain it once a week to clean off the algae and the buildup on the walls of the wood. Drain it once a week in a desert where water's hard to come by? Freaking crazy. Okay, so, but you know, do what you gotta do. So some of the things that really kind of cued off to me that it's old construction, well, stuff like this. You would never see that today. They just made their own pieces of metal and brackets. Kind of cool. Also, they use these timbers that you would see normally inside of mines to help support things up. Like this top rail is the timber itself, or maybe a railroad tie. It is awfully long though. I would have loved to see this in the day, you know, a little, what do you call it, diving board hanging off there, people diving into the water. Oh man, in the desert, in the summertime, this would be just heaven. Anywho, very cool little find today, and I'm just kind of blown away by it because I've been really close to this for almost a year. Didn't know it was here until the historian pointed it out to me. Absolutely amazing. The stuff you find out in the desert. God knows what this could have been for, this old piece of material. I did notice some other things earlier. Well, I'm assuming these nails are here because they tried covering it once it was not being used. I couldn't imagine having nails like that around a pool for any kind of safety sake. Or maybe that was holding down the wood. I don't know, and it was just separated. Hard to tell. Oh yeah, it was up here. I was seeing some hardware here and there that reminded me of things that I see out in the mines. In some of this hardware. This hardware here I've seen used a lot on wooden mills, like out in Salt Creek Hills, down near Baker, California. You see this stuff. It's really interesting. That just kind of validates for me when I see hardware like that being used in places like this that is probably 1920s. So this pool sits not but a stone's throw away from the TNT Railroad going north to Tonopah. So this is Death Valley Junction, folks. You can kind of figure out through, I've kind of intentionally blacked out or whited out the background so it's hard to tell where I'm at. I'd rather keep this kind of quiet. If you know where it's at, great. I just want to keep it quiet. It's beautiful here. Hope you enjoyed the trip. Onward.